Hello, everybody, and welcome to Business and Life Insight. And I have the pleasure of introducing you to a good friend of mine, Kim Sunshine. What a great name. And there she is. She's the CEO, yes, and founder of website M8. And she's going to be talking to us about business transitioning and rebranding and the unexpected lessons that she learned as she was working through her various transitions. Now, she's a person who's been in business since she was 19. And I won't tell you how old she is, but she's older than 19. Lots of experience. So I know, and you can tell she's bubbly and so fun.
Yeah, one of the things that happened though when I was 19 is I started working with a company that taught young people how to actually run a business. And it was all just sales and marketing. So you're learning a lot of sales and marketing, direct sales, managing people, opening a business. And I was really brainwashed. And, we can choose our brainwashing. I chose the business world to be brainwashed that the worst day working for myself is better than the best day working for someone else. And that has been my heart and passion since I was 19 years old. So since then, I've either written my own paycheck or have worked 100% commission, such as with real estate, and have been successful at pretty much anything that I put my mind to.
So I would say you are a self-made woman.
I would say I'm a brainwashed into pushing past any obstacles or hurdles that come along, because naturally, when you start a business, it is there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be hurdles that you have to overcome. But perseverance and hard work will surpass education or experience any day. So I'm never afraid to try a new thing or start something new, or just jump in with both feet. I'm never afraid to do that. I look at the outside, I appear fearless. I'm shaking inside, but I'm pursuing it.
Courage. That's courage. So it takes courage to start up a new business. It takes courage to try something new. It takes courage to be willing to stumble all over the place. But the idea that you're going to end up in a better place later on. At the beginning of the show, you said something about being happier doing one thing versus another. Could you restate that?
Yeah,
a little bit.
The worst day working for yourself is better than the best day working for someone else. So being your own boss, making your own schedule, being the rudder on your own ship is the best thing. And it's because you have the most reliability. You were asking me about transitions, and my most recent transition and big, huge transition was I was doing real estate. Within 3 years of doing real estate, I had moved up to probably the top 3 to 5% of realtors in my community. And it was only from my own background of running a business and marketing, all that experience of branding myself and things of that nature. I had a major life change, and it kind of made me shift and realize I'm not getting any younger. If I don't follow my heart's passion, I may never get a chance to. And I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom here that I want to share with other people. My passion is seeing other people run businesses, seeing those businesses be successful, seeing people, live life to the fullest by taking a vision that they have and turning it into reality. And what I'm doing for people behind the scenes, I do websites, just like you do a ton of wonderful things with content creations and the creative side and websites and marketing and things like that. I'm providing a bunch of tools for businesses to be able to help their business succeed. And as well as that, while I'm not a coach, I do give insight along the way. If there's something that I hear where I feel like I could give a little input and it would help them, then that's what I do. But that's my passion, is seeing businesses succeed, seeing people transition from employee to business owner.
That resonates with me very, very.
I enjoyed it a lot. And we created over 100 different flavors that we would serve. And that was a lot. Even in the industry, we were overachievers with that. But that was a place to express a lot of creativity. Right now, I get to work on businesses, and a lot of my clients are very happy because they don't have to give me a whole lot of direction. I understand their business as a CEO. I understand what their objectives are for their website. And then I add my marketing background to it, making sure there's call to actions, making sure that there's enough information there for, just like you as a content creator. There's people who like to read a lot, so we have to make sure we have the information for them. And then there's people like me, I'm a skimmer, So we make sure that that information is highlighted for the skimmer as well. Our clients are always very happy that we don't bother them with a whole lot of, we need this little detail or that little detail. Give us the overall. We're going to dig in and find the information. And when we find gold, we're going to keep digging and make that a part of your website.
Right. And it's just not a one-time through. You continue to work with your clients, improve the website or adjust it, edit it, make changes as time requires or as the needs require for your business owners.
Exactly. Well, we do a standard website. We keep up with maintenance, but if they want additional packages such as what you offer, it's an additional fee and we would charge them for that. But those are all optional. We'll build the website for them, pretty much a one-time fee plus a low hosting cost. And then when we do our hosting, we connect that in with automations as well for them.
That's amazing. So you have your own host.
Yes.
So you're like a GoDaddy, but you're
Go Mama. Just call me Go Mama.
Yeah, I love it.
I have my own server. I've had my own server since 1998, I think it is when I first started doing websites. And most of the time I was doing them for myself because if I had an idea, I could make it into reality pretty easily. Now I love making other people's dreams into reality. So I'm at a certain age where, all the ideas and dreams that I come up with a million times, it's now helping other people gives me a lot of fulfillment and it fills my heart. Like real estate totally filled my pocket. I killed it with real estate, but helping these businesses fills my heart so much. And I have to tell you, I love exactly where I'm at, exactly where God has me in life today, exactly having that hand and that open door to be able to see businesses start, see them thrive and succeed. Like one of the companies that's one of my clients, it's Hill Southern Foods, and he does beef jerky, and he just got into the local Harley store, really the last 6 months. He just got Department of Agricultural seal of approval for wholesale, so because he's doing beef. And it's just so exciting to hear those stories. And then he'll call me just super excited. Yeah, I got into this location or that location. He's looking to get into the local grocery store. So
and you give him that leg up.
But that makes me so happy. It's a great to hear that.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be a part of somebody else's success, that you were able to give them the lift that they needed, the on-site presence that they needed, which is amazing. And so you're definitely on their team. And
trends that I'm seeing now, and I don't know if you're starting to see this or not, but I do know that 2 clients that I've had in the past week, and it's interesting because I zero before that, and maybe 1 before, but in the past week, 2 are leaving a franchise situation or a dealership situation to be independent owned business instead of being under the umbrella of another company. And both of them gave the same reason, and it was poor customer service at that corporate level for their clients when they're locally based. So that is a trend I'm seeing. I would love to hear your insight if you're starting. I think it's coming faster than slower, where people are making that shift from Amazon style shopping to boutique style shopping.
So the pendulum might be swinging the other way for more personalized, more customer service. So because customers driving the business.
Customers do drive the business. And what we've seen in the past is customer service was poor for some of the larger situations, or we would get, customer service representatives that we couldn't understand. And today we're not getting customer service representatives at all. We're dealing 100% with a bot, which is good in some cases, but if it takes too long to get to a human being, it makes it challenging for these franchise owners who are used to dealing with their customers face to face, and they're forced to follow a corporate policy that's not the best for the local consumer. And during that corporate policy, they have to force somebody into something that if that local franchise owner had control over, they would handle it immediately, and the customers would not be shoved into the endless pit of push this button, answer this question for an hour and still not get the resolution that they need. So that's a trend I'm seeing right now locally. I do believe it's going to be a trend that we see going across the country.
Right. Okay. Well, okay. And good for both of us.
Well,
Where
good for everybody, because the consumers are going to get a higher level of customer service. I mean, I can remember myself 3, 4, 5 years ago saying customer service has died. Where is customer service? Now I see with some of the clients that I'm working with that there is a pushback on that. And it's not necessarily the consumers only who are seeing it, but it's the business owners realizing that their hands are tied at that corporate level, and they really want to give a higher level of customer service.
Right, right, right. No, I can see that. I'm struggling with a couple of situations now where my franchise are they have their hands tied. They can't touch the website except for a certain part of it, and of
Yep.
course, they're limited. The website is a major landing page for finding a company, but also anyway, there's some frustration, and so there is something that to what you're saying, but also the customer is drives a business. No customer, no business.
Well, yes, and business owners know that. Like the person there knows, and they're hearing the frustrations of the customers. These franchise owners and franchisees are hearing, or dealerships are hearing the frustrations of the customer, where corporate is not, because people get sucked into that black hole of never getting to tell their story. So they're telling it to the person who's in control. I really believe we're going to see a lot more boutique shops. Things are going to go back, and I don't mean backwards. It's actually a progression going forward, because not only do we have all this technology that is helping us to be able to improve a lot of things in our business, we're going to have that customer service that's an extremely high level that comes with the appreciation of the customer. Because now that previous franchise owner who's now independent is really excited that they're able to handle these situations for their customers and clients.
Yes, absolutely. So let's go back to you're having your own server, and that with yes, because I want people to see you've got how an entrepreneur works. So you saw a need,
Well,
and
so when I left real estate, I left with the idea that I was going to do something for businesses. I didn't know exactly what. And I promise you, I was doing a ton of things. Right now, my focus is working on websites for people and building really badass websites. We're blowing everything away locally. We're seeing really providing not only the aesthetics, but the structure to it and conversions. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing on your website is for it to convert and be found. We are doing all of those things. Giving a focus on websites has helped me with all the other things that we do. So we work with automations. I do have a product that's called BoostMate. BoostMate will connect in your advertising, pull your leads in, throw them into automation. Nice long drip campaigns. If you want to nurture clients for a long time, we can text them, we can email them. We can invite them over for dinner if you want. I mean, it's a great service that I offer. And within that product, dealing with a lot of coaches, and I've done quite a few websites for some coaches. They like to have the membership and where they can do a course online. So I have that all available for my clients as well. Little shopping carts if they have a flash sale or something like that. We have all that available. So calendar. I think that's a big thing too, the calendar. So when we create a form on our customers' websites, we automatically hook that into our CRM, which is BoostMate, rather than them having to log into their website or look at an email in order to contact the client. We put it straight into our BoostMate, and then they can just see right on their app. I like getting people straight on the calendar. Let's get them scheduled, consultation straight from the website, and they can go right into their app and see, and it connects right with their calendar. It's just beautiful work of art, making people's lives easier so they can get that high customer service.
Yeah, high customer service. Yes, and get a response right away. Yeah, for sure. So that's awesome. So transition and rebranding. Those are the topics that we wanted to kind of emphasize today.
Yes.
Can you talk? So transitioning, are there tips? What is a transition?
So there's a couple different types of things. Some, like the clients I'm working with, they're staying in their same industry. The transition that they're making is rebranding, a new name. So that's one type of transition, and pretty easy. You still have your email list that's going to stay the same because they've already bought a similar product that you still have available. Where I'm really an expert at is transitioning from like just completely changing what you're doing. You see a lot of people, jobs are changing right now. We have technology is really, really making a huge impact. And I tell people, don't fret, because there's still a need for the human connection. And it doesn't matter how much technology we have, it's not going to replace that human connection that everybody needs. But at that point, that's the time for someone to transition, start looking around and seeing where is there a need and what can I do to fill it. And that becomes a business. It's as simple as that. You see a need and you fill it. If you see your neighbor's grass is high, you maybe start a lawn care business. You see your neighbors, need some pressure washing, maybe start a pressure washing business. Those are some of the things that you could do. Or I know in some of the elderly communities, there's like a concierge type service. They need to drop something off or pick something up. There's plenty of Uber drivers out there, and each one of them are independently business owners, whether they realize it or not. And they should all be branding themselves to try to get, a request for them to be their Uber driver or their Uber Eats deliverer.
That's right. And that's an interesting thing too, because Uber realized that they can also make money off of delivery, not just delivering people, but pets and food and things, and become a door-to-door courier kind of.
Yeah, and we saw that really birth through COVID. I mean, that whole entire industry, again, somebody saw a need, somebody filled the need, and it's still hanging around today and growing. I would say it's growing even more today.
Right. So there's involuntary transitioning and voluntary transitioning.
So involuntary is like, hey, you get fired from your job, you need to find a job. Okay, jobs aren't open right now. They're being replaced with
business
technology.
Is not cutting it. So
there's your involuntary transition. But during that time, look for the need. Find your passion, somebody who likes working with their hands or doing woodworking or something like that. Could sell something right now very easily on Marketplace. They can make something in their garage, sell it. And I know that there's plenty of people making a living selling stuff out of their garage. And if that really floats your boat, go into contractor school, go to school to get it, advance your education while you're making things and selling them out of your garage to make sure that you're covering your overhead. There's a million different jobs. If you're an expert basketball player, by all means, be a basketball coach. And when we imagine a basketball coach, we imagine them on a field. But I promise you, with video and technology today, you can be that basketball coach who's coaching somebody from way across the country and helping them to be successful in their basketball or whatever it is, painting, basketball. I mean, there's a million and one things that anyone could do.
Right. And then a contractor and coach of his audience, or any business and coach of their audience. What do you advise people to do when they're in search of their audience, their clients?
Well, the first thing I would say is you need to find your passion, because if it's something that you're passionate about, it's going to be easy for you to find your clients, because your passion and everything that you do and everyone that you talk to, that's going to bubble over. Get on an interview with someone like Nell. If you have a passion and you're doing something, Nell has a large audience. Get on an interview with Nell. Let your passion shine through. And now, if it's something that you don't like, you're going to be like, I'm coaching this. And you're going to it's like your face is going to read it. So find something that you love doing at first. People who do things just for money, you can see it. It's written all over their face, and they're not very attractive people. People usually are not drawn to them like a magnet. But when you're passionate about what you do, people will be drawn to you like a magnet, and they're going to find you. And I know that sounds a little crazy, but you got to put yourself out there. They're not going to find you if you're a hermit. If you're on interviews, doing some lives on Facebook or doing videos of yourself, sharing your passion, getting in front of an audience, finding large groups of people that will get behind you and support you because of your passion.
That's right. So
I love networking. I mean, I love networking. I belong to several networking groups. I think that that's a very, very important part of building a business, especially if you're looking at your local community. Even if you are looking at a larger reach, like Nell and I are not in our same local community, but we met. If it wouldn't have been for my original networking in a certain way, you and I would have never made that connection. So the connection that you and I are having today is an extension of the networking that I did locally.
Yeah, that's right. So yes, the networking, and I'll just mention, because Lana Fink introduced me to Kim, and Lana is a TEDx coach.
Yes, Elevate Authentically. She is amazing. She's absolutely amazing.
We'll give her some kudos here just to
check. She'll take your speech and take a look at it and tell you exactly what the audience got from it, what points were a home run and what points you need to work on. She is She's phenomenal. And she was a person who made a transition from corporate world into owning her own business. And now she's coaching people. So that to me is super exciting. I love to see that.
That's exciting to me too, to see how people can become what they envision themselves to be, or maybe that they didn't envision themselves to be, but they get themselves there anyway because they're so passionate about it.
There's a lot of resistance. So you got to kind of start thinking about it first and start seeing yourself at least that one step ahead. If you could think 10 years ahead and see where you would be and envision that, you can make it happen faster for yourself because you'll stand a little taller. You'll be a little more confident and you're going to, hit that ball without looking at your checkbook to go do the speech first. So I have to tell you, I'm super excited where my business is today, but it has not been without its trials and tribulations, without ups and downs. And through the end, you just persevere and keep going forward.
Yeah, if you don't mind, can we talk a little bit about the challenges that you face along the way?
Sure. When I first left real estate, and it was kind of like a clean break, and I still have my real estate license. One of my business coaches friends, he said, yeah, you should probably keep that because it takes a lot to get a license. That shows your credibility, your honesty. You obviously have no felonies or anything like that. So I still have my real estate license, and I wind up referring out to people who are my clients in real estate. But I had an office location, 2 employees, and I just was investing in all the things that I needed: printers, copiers, and computers, and desks, and all these things. And come to realize 2.5, almost 3 years later, I really didn't need all those things. I just needed my passion. And while I still use my printers and things like that, most of the stuff I have sold or donated. I didn't need a whole huge office, but I had to do that to make a big bang because I was so well known as Kim Sunshine, the realtor. And I had to switch people's minds to Kim Sunshine Business Development. So in order to make that switch, I had to come out with a big bang, which is a very visible location. So if you're coming out and people don't already know you, that's not transition. But when people know you already because you branded yourself so well, you kind of got to go over the top a little bit. And I did. And the overhead was extremely high because of the location. And I had 2 employees. So that overhead was very high. And I really experienced, because I'm still figuring myself out. But now I wouldn't change a thing. It was part of our growing and who we are. And we're in an absolutely wonderful place right now. Pulled it back in, working from home. I work with my son and my sister. My son.
That's fantastic. Family business.
Yeah, he's 30 years old and he is amazing at doing the designs on the website. So he's our designer. And while I add in my years of experience with marketing, our call to actions and content, he does the overall designs and he does just an absolutely fabulous job. And then he digs deep into their industries to make sure that we're covering all the bases and finding and digging up all those nuggets of gold.
Yeah, I think family-owned businesses are beautiful. I mean, families can connect on so many levels when that's the case.
I love you, Nell. So it's not been without its challenges, but you just got to push through and know that it's the best. And that's with any family-owned business. Working with families is quite different than working with other people. Yes, but you learn to everybody works together.
So you got your business face on, and then you have your mommy face on.
We're always both, and it's always a learning thing. But my son is 30 years old, so it's not like I'm being a mommy. He's a grown man, so he's very smart, and he teaches me some things here and there.
Well, I love that. That should be the case. It's 2 heads are better than 1, or 3. You have 3.
Yep. And my sister is very, very artistic, so she likes graphics and things like that. So she is our graphic designer, and she just really does a lot of good with that.
Yeah, you put everybody to their best use, their best, most passionate use.
Yeah, we have, a very powerful team, very, very powerful.
What a complementary combination. Yes, you all complement each other.
Yes.
And beautiful that it happened that way for all of you.
Yeah, it wasn't the original plan, but it's the way that it happened. But it was God's plan, He had it all planned out in the beginning. I was just obedient. I just showed up, went to work, and doesn't matter what bumps are on the road, we're still persevering and pushing forward. So about a year after I started, he came on. And I think he came on And one of the things that makes him so awesome, how men have a little bit of competitive nature. My son's like, I can do it better than you. Let me show you. And I'm like, let me see. I would love for you to do it better than me. Are you kidding? That's great. And guess what? He did start doing some things better than me. And I'm so happy and proud of that. For me as a mom, I'm as proud as I could be. As a business owner, Lord, thank you.
That's right. So now he's got a skill and a company he can be proud of, he's part of, and he's helping it develop and evolve. And maybe when you're ready to pass it on, you've got a succession plan in place, right?
Thank you. Now, yes, I pray that I have a lot of years and enough years left over to spend that time in the Bahamas doing nothing, answering questions that may come up. Maybe some YouTube videos or something. I don't know, but
I know. Well, it's in evolution.
But right now, my heart is so full helping businesses and seeing them succeed, hearing success stories about companies that, they came to us when they were either in a transition or just getting started out. A lot of I like working with brand new businesses, but I like established businesses too, because when we start digging into their industry and start finding gold for them, for their website and things that they hadn't even considered, or their previous web developer didn't even know was a part of their industry. Yeah. It's really exciting to see their face light up, and then for them to come back. That was a great idea. Thank you for putting that on my website. It's come back and it's been successful for me.
Yeah, I like it that you have a lot of independence working with your clients, and they understand that they are in good hands.
Yes.
They're dealing with you. We talked a little bit about your rebranding. Have you worked with your clients on their rebranding? And could you give us an idea? You don't have to disclose which company, but just give us some of the highlights of the process that you went through with them.
So with rebranding, one of the things that's important, if you're staying in your same industry, okay, but you're just changing a name, then you want to hold on to some of the things from the previous brand. If your previous brand was a bad name or something like that, or in a case of like a corporate company that now you're going into your own independent business, but the corporate one was getting a lot of complaints, and you as the franchisee or distributor don't want those complaints, you're going to want to make a bigger change. But if things are good on the other, and you're flipping and you're staying in the same sector, then you want to kind of keep your colors in the same area, so that there's a little bit of association during that transition time. You have to give yourself some transition time when you're doing that with a brand.
How much time do you think it takes to completely transition?
It depends on if you're putting money towards branding or not. The first thing is your clients. You don't want to lose clients because you've transitioned to a different brand. So that you're 3 to 6 months, letting them know, hey, we got this transition, and you're transitioning a little at a time. So I think we did about 6 months to go from Cornerstone Center to Website Mate and the Boost Made branding. We were Cornerstone Center for 2 years. So everybody knew us as Cornerstone Center. I mean, I still use the email, but now everybody knows us as the website. So it was Website Mate was brought up under Cornerstone Center. Probably, it might have been longer than 6 months. But once we started getting this brand known, then we started transitioning out of the Cornerstone brand, because Cornerstone wasn't exactly describing what we were doing enough. It encompassed where my heart was when we started it. But right now I'm really Website Mate, boom, speaking straight to businesses. Business people know that I'm here. They know who I am. So
you communicated, this is what you mentioned to all of your clients as you were transitioning, that you were transitioning for reasons of service, that you were going to be increasing your services. And
well, we've always been doing the websites. It's not an increase, or it's more maybe a decrease of services than an increase. So we were doing a much broader spectrum of things. Like we were doing some print advertising and things like that. We were doing some print. I'm trying to think of all the different things that we were doing. A lot. We were doing shirts and things like that. And we really are not doing those things anymore. So we were doing a lot, and now we're not doing as much, but we were very aware of what our clients needed, and very aware of, what our future was looking at. Every single component that we touched had a website component to it. So it didn't make sense for that not to be our entry point into our company. So people can still get a lot of the services that they could get before, but the entry point is Website Mate, which is, everybody knows it's websites. You got digital, some stuff, versus Cornerstone Center, which people were like, well, what is that? What is that?
Obvious. Yeah.
But it was, everything served its purpose. It was great when I started Cornerstone Center because it was a big, what is that? So people would dig in from her being a realtor. So, I mean, because everybody knew me. I mean, I have billboards all over town and signs as being a realtor, and now I'm doing Cornerstone Center. So it was a big impact. It made a big impact in my town. We spent a lot of money for advertising to get Cornerstone Center out there. I was doing a new resident orientation every month. We started a foodies group. So we were doing a lot of things in our community to get the name out. When we pulled back, transitioned to Website Mate, now we're servicing those businesses. So we did serve the community with a lot of things, and now we're serving just the businesses at this point.
Right. So what a great story. Yeah.
It's been exciting. I love it. So I am serving my community by serving my local businesses. I believe that everybody can run their business with morals, with integrity, with kindness, and still be successful, that there isn't a rat race or backstabbing or scratching to be successful. There's enough room for all of us to be successful and find our passion.
That's right. Yeah. And then grow the pie bigger for everyone.
It's true.
So that there's more for everyone. Living with conscious and intent.
Yes.
And intended.
Mindful intention abundance. Exactly now. Exactly.
Do you have an affirmation that you like to say to yourself every day?
Well, I'm like, I got this. I'm awesome. Like, my name is Kim Sunshine. So I make people say my full name. Very rarely will you hear somebody call me just Kim. They'll always say Kim Sunshine when I'm in a public setting. And I kind of started that when I was branding myself as a realtor. When I was the karaoke host, I'd be like, no, you have to write Kim Sunshine. It's my full name. But even doing that was a part of branding myself and who I am.
Absolutely. So people love to hear their names too. I mean, because it's a reinforcer, and I'm sure you use their full names and you get it right because you're a very people-oriented person.
I do like to say people's names and ask them their names. I have a tip for anybody. Like, I love people. I think people are fantastic. I enjoy being around people. And one of the things when I first meet someone, I ask them their name. And then the second time I meet them, like, I don't forget a face, but I might forget a name. And, the more experience I get in life, it seems like the less I remember things, like someone's name I may have just met. So I always ask them, I say, would you be so kind as to give me 5 times of meeting you? By the 5th time, I will remember your name. So people always get a laugh out of that, but they're very generous when I don't remember their name, but I'm just excited to see their face, whether I remember their name or not.
Yes, I know you. Yes, okay, just give me 5 meetings and I'll remember you.
I'll be able to call you my name. Yeah.
That's so great. Can you tell us what the most unexpected lesson was that you have learned about as you moved through your many businesses?
Through life, the most unexpected lesson, there's been so many lessons that I've learned. Be kind to everybody. Be slow to react.
Wow. That's a powerful one.
Yeah, be kind to everybody, because one of the things that I learned early on in life is you cannot please everybody all of the time. It is 100% impossible. If you spend your life doing that, you are not true to who you are, and you're not true to yourself. So what I learned is be authentic, and the people who like me are going to find me and be a magnet to me. And in my authentic self, I promise there's going to be people that don't like me, and that's okay. I'm not even mad at them. That's good. It's all right. It means being authentic. There's got to be some out there.
That's right. There's something for everyone and someone for everyone, right? Yep. Can you speak to the importance of storytelling?
I wish I was a better storyteller now.
I know you exemplify it, but yes, you've been giving us examples the whole interview long.
So one of the things that I like to do, so I see so many good storytellers out there on the internet, and I'm not a good internet storyteller person. I'm a good, let me talk to you and I'll tell you a story or two. Usually it's going to have a meaning behind it. It's going to have a lesson. It's going to have something that we've learned. But one of the things that I love are utilizing analogies and examples that bring it home for people when you're explaining and doing a story for them.
Yeah, so that's a good use of a story. There's a lesson there, but there's also a message for the individual to take home and kind of noodle over. And maybe
let it resonate in their heart and see what grows.
Yeah, see which part they like that fits and which parts don't, maybe, or maybe all of it. That's exciting when it does.
Yeah, storytelling is captivates people. So you get them involved and now they're into the story and you can walk them through the process, whatever that might be, getting them to the mindset where you want them, solution that you want them to have.
And then also conversely, what about story listening?
Yeah, awesome. There's always lessons to be learned. I'm all about lessons. Like I'm actually taking a class now, and I feel like I'm in college again. But I shouldn't say again because I never completed college. But I feel like I'm in college because of the course and the curriculum and whatnot. So I love to continually learn, and there's learning experiences in every story and every situation.
Do you have a favorite story you like to tell?
Well, I do a little stand-up comedy, so I like to tell my stories there.
I had a feeling. You mentioned it to me before because we were talking about what topic to discuss today, but I wanted to keep it business-like, but stand-up, though.
In front of people. And, in those sales meetings, you would throw in a joke. And so now every time you do that little bit, there's a joke there. Well, that's the same thing as stand-up comedy. It's just, writing based on a true story, not necessarily true story, but based on a true story.
But there you're communicating to a large crowd versus one, or maybe one-to-one when you do stand up. Because this is a lesson for me on story, on writing. Well, go ahead.
I've learned now what a few beers and a group of friends found were funny and developed a good 5-minute bits of information and comedy was not what the book said was supposed to be comedy. But that 5 minutes that my friends and a couple beers created is still funny today. And I've been doing the same, that solid 5 minutes for, 6 or 7 years. And it's still funny today. But writing the stuff from the book with exact direction, I just did a comedy class a couple months ago. And I found out that those original jokes didn't follow any of the rules, but they were equally funny. So my favorite saying is there's more than one way to make a cat skinny.
That's great.
It goes for comedy. It goes for life. It goes for business. Is there a right or a wrong way? You could look at it being black and white, but really there's probably a million different ways that the same thing can get accomplished. And we should not put ourselves into a box in accomplishing that goal.
Yeah, why should we limit ourselves just two colors too, black or white? Why not have the whole rainbow?
All the colors that we can see. And I guess there's ones we can't see, but we won't know. You don't know what you don't know until you know it.
We would just ask our dogs or our cats.
We'll just follow them. That's awesome.
That's right. Oh, okay. Well, we're digressing a little bit, but I think it's fun to add a little bit of that to the show too. Is there anything that you'd like to mention that we haven't covered that you wanted to cover for today?
One of the biggest things for me, and I'm just going to give my life in a nutshell. I grew up, my mom was 16 years old when she had me, and I was the second child. And her and my dad got divorced the year I was born. So she was the single mom raising me and my sister. And one of the things for me is that I really felt like money could fix all the problems that we had, because she had a lot of problems being a single mom with 2 children. And I always thought that money could fix it. And I've been kind of a workaholic ever since. But I can tell you that money is not the most important thing. As long as you have all of your needs met and even some of your wants met, and you're happy, don't add more to your plate to add stress and make you unhappy. So I think that happiness is from within. Doesn't matter how much you've got. Money certainly does make things better. If you're going to lay on the beach, you could do one. You could lay in your yard. You can lay on the beach, or you can go to the Bahamas, or maybe you're going to go to, what's that big island they're always talking about? Caracas or something like that. We go there. Or, so money's going to take you to different places, but money does not solve your problems or make you happy. So you have to find that happiness and joy within yourself and find the thing in life that you like to do that gives you a joy, and you'll never work a day in your life.
That's good advice. That resonates with me too. So much of what you said today resonates and has a landing spot with me.
Thank you. One of my biggest goals in life was to buy my mom a house, and I did. And I bought it to her in a very nice gated community and a beautiful home. And that was one of my biggest goals of life, was to buy my mom her first house. And I was able to do that.
That's beautiful that you could do that for her. A symbol of thanks, but also of love. But it's a goal also that you set for yourself. So if person doesn't have a goal, who knows where that person will end up, right?
So guess when I sent that goal? When I was 19 years old. And I probably was in my 40s before I was able to do it. But I had that goal since I was 19.
And so you stuck to it. Did you have it written down? So many consultants and coaches have tips on how to reach your goals. And one of them is to write them down and look at them every day.
Yep.
Is that something that you do?
Yes. You have to think about all the things that you want. When you change from being monetarily motivated, which is not where my heart is right now, my motivation is helping other businesses and helping other people to realize their dreams and to be able to have the full heart that I have doing what they do, where their passion is, and helping them with their businesses with that. So I don't have pictures of that around. I mean, maybe hearts. I could just fill my hearts everywhere.
From you personally.
What kind of car you drive? I live in a very nice house. My ex-husband and I divorced 8 years ago, and I was able to bounce back, start a new career in real estate, bounce back, be able to buy my own home, which I left him because I know how to make money. I don't find it hard to make money. Money is the easy part. It is finding where your passion is. Find your passion and just go to work, and you're going to make money. I mean, it's going to come to you. It's going to be easy. And that nature, it doesn't mean that your work is not going to be hard. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have to persevere past things, but it really, at the end of the day, is easy to be successful. It's not a hard thing. It just requires persistence and staying steady the course.
Right. Absolutely. Very wise words. And I don't think there's anything else to cover now. I think you pretty much encapsulated what it is to be successful, and also to be able to use your transitions and your rebranding and your life as your pedestals for becoming great. Your pedestals to greatness. Yeah.
Let me give you heart here. And I know this is how we do it, the older people. Did you see how the younger people do it? Like they something else. I can't even do it. There's his wings or something.
Yeah, or a little pounding.
Oh yeah, like is it a baseball? What's happening? There's a meteor. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, Kim, it's been absolutely delightful. I've really enjoyed this conversation with you, and I'm so glad that we are collaborators and more. So I'm looking forward to everything that we are able to do together to help our clients and be able to help them scale and grow. Yeah.
You know what? Now you are beautiful inside and out. I love what you're doing.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
I can tell by the way that you glow from the inside out that you are following your passion and how much you love people and love what you're doing. So I appreciate you having me on the show today. It's an honor.
It's been my pleasure. You've got me blushing now. So
well, it looks good on you, girl.
Well, thank you. All right. So please tell people how they can get a hold of you, Kim.
We got here, websitemate.com. You can go to 386-627-6363. That is my direct cell phone. So if I don't answer, just send me a text. Let's connect.
We'll talk about accessibility. All right, Kim. Yep. Thank you so much.
Well, if I'm available, I'll answer. If not, you'll get my recording. Don't leave a message. Just text me.
And you'll reply as soon as you can.
Exactly.
All right. Real good. All right, folks. So we'll say goodbye now, and we invite you to join us again next week. We'll have Bill Ellemeyer, who's going to be talking about the myth of retirement. That should be. But I must say, though, he's 87 and he refuses to retire. He's just having too much fun.
I love him, and I love that he's doing that. And you know what? He is winning because he gets to decide exactly what he wants to do. That's going to be a great show next week.
Thank you so much. All right, folks. So I surely enjoyed that interview, and I hope you did too. So we'll see you next week. Take care. Have a great week.